That was good, guys. Ay, ay, ay. Probably the best way to describe today. Ay, ay, ay. I have read these, but we will go over them and talk about them. So we'll give it a few minutes. Let people that want to come in, and then yeah. This picture is very accurate to describe this patch, to say the absolute least. Ahri, time to hide. But yep, Avatar tomorrow. Avatar tomorrow, Tokon beta after that. Just AO patch tomorrow. God, there was way too much going on.
Oh no!
Think you'll like Blade's mechanic. Yeah, we'll go over the 2SKO patch notes first, and then we'll watch the Wolverine guide and the Blade guide.
Who thought this was okay?
And the Blade guide that came out today. So we'll talk about and we'll go over everything that happened today while I wasn't streaming. This is what happens.
Who thought this was okay?
This is what happens when I don't stream in the afternoon. This is why we're going to start streaming on Wednesday afternoons. But let us see what's going on. But I was about to say, let's see what's going on. I already know. But let's go over patch 1.2.5, shall we? Nerfs to Freestyle, Ahri, Thresh, and Alawi. It should be nerfs, Ahri, and then like 2 rows below that, Freestyle, Thresh, and Alawi, but alright. Buffs to Juggernaut and Psychic, Senna, also Darius, Vi, Warwick, and Blitzcrank, and then new skins, the Culinary Masters of Caitlyn, Akali, and Teemo, and then the Coven of Senna, Ahri, and Alawi. Do I have to read this? Yeah. In this patch, we have a lot of change for champions. Some of our biggest fuse adjustments yet. As always, going to be down. Blah blah blah. New event Chipotle. Yeah, new event. Now we're just back on Chipotle land again. We're excited part of Chipotle. Blah blah blah. Lasts until August 6th. If you live in the U.S., you have a chance to get real life coupons. And yeah. Alright, fuses, Juggernaut. Juggernaut's power fuse at intermediate and beginner levels of play, but falls off at advanced levels, riding an advanced tool with Juggernaut while reducing its overall power early in a player's journey. Juggernaut now grants the ability to solo dash cancel any attack by spending Break Meter. This is the same as Fury dash canceling. With this change, only Juggernaut users can do this outside of Fury. So kind of like how Juggernaut can spend Break in order to push block. Juggernaut can also dash cancel now using Break as well. So it's the options for combos and pressure and lets them fight against push block. Meter gain and push block while using Juggernaut have also been improved to compensate for these buffs. Break meter gain while using this fuse has been reduced. So super meter gain has been increased by 25%. Push block no longer uses the break meter. Now, oh, okay, I stand corrected. Sorry. It now has the normal cooldown. Break gain when hitting opponents has been reduced by 50%. Attacks can now be dash canceled by spending 30%. Oh, spending okay, that's a very harsh. That's a very harsh dash cancel cost. So, same as Fury dash canceling with Juggernaut, you can now do this outside Fury. Dash cancel was used, so the combo will not grant break meter. Break meter gain on successful eject has been reduced by 10%. Not good. So nothing on that part. Sidekick is getting assist improvements because the overall power of assist is lower without the ability to handshake tag. Overall super meter gain has been increased by 15% when using Sidekick. Point champion can now move freely during Sidekick's super. When an assist is used as a combo starter, it no longer causes additional damage scaling when using Sidekick. Push block now pushes both opposing champions when using Sidekick. All these Sidekick is a decent amount better. Power of 2 enter tags is constantly dominated expert level play. We're nerfing freestyle with so freestyle nerf. So something we all thought was coming at some point. We're nerfing freestyle in a way that maintains flexibility while establishing significant trade-offs for accessing the fuse power. First off, overall break meter gains will be reduced by 35% when using freestyle. During this break meter adds additional risk to using this fuse. I heard many thoughts or ideas on how we were going to nerf freestyle. Nerfing break meter gain was definitely not one of them. That was definitely not expected. Timo got buffed technically, and still has his Oki. Ahri got shot. And then, depending on what Thresh players come up with new Thresh combos, Thresh might be top 1. We might be in a world where top 1, 2, and 3 right now are Teemo, Echo, Thresh, or Thresh, Teemo, Echo in that order. Freestyle attack can no longer be used immediately after break, and freestyle attack can no longer be used immediately after push block. That's rough. So that is closer to what I expected them to do potentially. Although making an already bad mechanic even worse though, because push block is not a good mechanic. So making that even worse by the fact that you can't do the freestyle attack, that you can't tag when you do it. Although it says freestyle attack, so it might just be you can't just do tag. Okay, I'm just going to hope that's what it means. You can't do tag, because then it won't be that bad. This one though sucks. Freestyle tag window has been reduced by 20 frames. It was 80 and is now 60. A lot of the setups that I do when it comes to freestyle pushes the tag option to the absolute extreme. So losing a quarter of it, I'm definitely going to need to do some testing. But I might not be able to do resets anymore, and I might not be able to do my freestyle tag block strings anymore. to lead into the extra mix-ups. Anything Ahri's versus Nerf's? Probably a mix of the reduced heavy and air heavy hitbox, and the loss of her Oki are probably the two harshest ones off the top of my head. Because hit confirms may not be great anymore. May not be very good because from those anymore.
Who thought this was okay? Who thought this was okay? Who thought this was okay?
I'll drop over what I'm saying if you do. I need to test the. I want to test pretty much all the Ahri changes because I'm seeing a lot of people in one of the discords I'm in saying that they still think Ahri is high tier, and she's still strong. I need to see and test these changes myself before I say anything like that. All I know is it is a laundry list of nerfs though, which is rough. And no, the throw combo damage nerf is definitely not her biggest nerf. It's the stupidest nerf, but it's not the biggest nerf. The freaking the throw damage nerf is. Who comes up with this? Who takes a look at a character and says, you know what, this character who has the worst grounded throw options in the game? How about we nerf the scaling on it?
What the hell is wrong with you?
Many things, that's beside the point. Assist. Players can no longer handshake tag to assist champions after they block Players can no longer handshake tag to assist champions after they block an attack. This does not apply in the following situations. If you form a push block or break, if you make contact with an opponent, i.e. the opponent hit blocks your assist or your point. Players can no longer perform a second assist action to assist after blocking an attack. When forming a low attack into the handshake tag, you can now parry the tagged out attack while standing and crouching. Dashing. You must now hold forward when tapping dash or light medium or to perform a dash cancel on inferior when using Juggernaut because they keep getting accidental dash cancels. Makes sense. Give attack can no longer be dash canceled while inferior when using. Thank you. How this has lasted this long, I do not know. It's crazy that this lasted this long. Forming backdash attacks are not buffered until the backdash ends. Basically, so for those guys who don't know, there is something called the throw OS, which is basically you press backdash, and then when you press backdash, you press the throw button. You press the throw button, so that basically, so that way if your opponent throws you, the opponent throws you, then you check the throw, and the opponent dash forward and press the button, and then you keep holding back. You'll block the button. Basically, it covers throw and a dash forward button at the same time. Now you basically can't do that because because you can no longer mask the inputs in the backdash. So if you try to backdash and throw, you will not get the throw. Or at least that's what I'm assuming. Yeah, performing a throw with that inputting will no longer result in a throw after the backdash animation completes. So basically, you won't get the throw anymore. The Juggernaut one. Throw tech. The ending distance between champions after throw tech has been increased. While coin throw tech now send a non-coin opponent further away. This is a good change because people with fast buttons basically just auto one throw tech situations. I'll be very curious to see how far back you actually get pushed back. This is a good change. Bug fixes. You guys want to read the bug fixes? You can. Alright. Do I have to? Do I have to?
Oh no!
He's already dead.
Buckle in, guys, because we have a lot of changes to Ahri. At TLDR, we're heavily reducing Ahri's damage, even though we literally just did that this last patch, giving her corner block strings more counterplay and reducing the size of every single normal in her entire kit. Ahri's ground pressure is not significantly worse, as well as her air pressure is also significantly worse because they decided to do both of those things. We're taking care to ensure that Ahri's combos still work. Because of this, some attacks receive slight buffs. These attacks will be listed underneath the nerfs to give context. Ground combat. As an aerial-focused champion, Ahri was controlling too much space on the ground, reducing the overall power of her ground combat. Also, since I've already read this, I am just going to do this real quick. As an aerial-focused champion, we're nerfing her ground combat, right? We like that Ahri is an aerial champion, so we're gentle with our nerfs to her in the air. Huh. Ahri should be great in the air, but errands were too overwhelming. We want her to be strong in the air. So we're nerfing her ground game. Oh, by the way, we're also nerfing her air game. As an area focus champion, Ahri is controlled into space and ground, so grounded L vertical hitbox has been reduced. Grounded L recovery has been increased by 1 frame, making -2 to -3. So her life doesn't hit people as doesn't hit as high, as well as the fact that it's now -3 instead of -2. Crouching lights is now also -3. Okay. Down M, we increased recovery on down M last patch, and now it's going to be 11 frames instead of 10 frames. Ground heavy has been hitbox has been reduced. Ground it's also one, so they both reduced it as well as much slower, as well as the recovery. This one honestly doesn't really do much because very few times does an Ahri ever just throw out a grounded S1, so that one doesn't really do much for it. But I am very concerned for the main thing I'm concerned about is honestly the heavy button, simply for the fact that depending on how far back it actually, how much distance it reduced, then combo confirms might be a little rough. But need to actually test that. Does the max range 2M or 5M into 5H still work or not? But yeah, I don't know. Grounded block strings. So grounded block strings had difficult counterplay, reduced the power of most of Ahri's block strings. S1. This is stupid. Now significantly easier to counterplay. This one was just stupid. Who the hell's like, oh yeah, let's make S1 jumpable. It's like, what the fuck? Like, who thought, like, this move? So S1, you do that, people already parry it, and then 2H it, and then they die. But nope. We've now made it jump counter hit punishable, and there's not a damn thing Ahri can do about it. If she does S1 to S1, and you're not getting hit by it, then she's just going to die. Over Deception Super was creating spectacle block strings in the corner. Yeah, so they nerfed that even more. The casuals need options. Oh, well they're getting it. So I have to freaking keep reading this. Oh, whatever. Startup is increased by 3. The Dredge now travels faster. Yippee! Because since the startup is 3 frames, you now have to be able to. It needs to be faster in order to be able to even combo anymore. Ground blocks on but S2 is reduced by 2 frames. The recovery has been increased by 1 frame. It's now -9. And also push them farther back, so that way you can't just do the orb super off of S2 anymore. And also now if you do S2 and your opponent retreating guards to where the last hit of it misses, Ahri cannot cancel into anything, basically giving people an extra option to kill her if they do an improper block string. The good news is most people, at least when it comes to mid screen, are already not doing S2 in block string unless they're using it to tag, which is what I've been doing. But for the most part, this won't end up mattering more often than not in high level play. But for most other people, it definitely will. Yeah, there's also that too. Ground blocks now is additional counterplay. Yeah, we just wrote to say ground blocks on all Fox reference have been increased by 2 frames. They had 18 frames of ground blocks on, now it's 16. Alright, whatever. Blocks on the first hit or reception has been decreased by 6. So yeah, if you watch the video that Yohozi posted, basically Ahri is now not really advantageous in the slightest whenever she does this. basically they made it where when you do the block string into Orb of Deception hold, they turned it from a basically always Ahri advantageous spot to a game of rock paper scissors. So now it's basically, so you still can do this as long as you space it properly, of course, but now it's just a game of RPS, which honestly is still good. It's just not as good, obviously. Aerial movement. We like that Ahri is an aerial champion, so we were gentle with our nerfs to air movement. We're not just directly nerfing our backward movement, but we're nerfing the traits that made it obnoxious to approach. Also reduced the distance travel speed rush slightly and adjusted S1 to allow for the same conversions as before. Pretty much any direction plus S2 distance travel has been reduced slightly, but the knockback distance on hit has been reduced. So something interesting, and actually I'm just gonna pull up the Yohozi video real fast so I can actually point this out. As I see yet another person, and who's posting a picture of Hitler dead attached to my post talking about the nerfs to Ahri. Oh yeah, I'm fine with that one there, Tim. You're not gonna see me argue about the Orb Super nerf. I agreed with that one. But the main thing I wanted to point out though, when it came to the S1 change though, is look at the where's the combo? Alright, I went past the combo. Okay, it's not this one. Look at this. This is new. I'm not sure if it's going to end up. I'm not sure if it's going to end up being. Well, I'll be curious to see what people come up with. And you'll see when we get later on with Ahri nerfs. They also nerf the amount of meter she gains on a lot of her moves, but the S1s still are some of the higher up ones. So I think doing things like this might end up being more optimal now in order to get the meter. Because of the reduced distance on the S1s. I'll be curious to see what people come up with for Ahri's new combos, based on the fact that she lost 20% of her freaking damage. But yeah, I'll be curious to see that. Anyways, aerial combat. Ahri should be great in the air. So we're nerfing that too. Reduce the hitbox on our heavy air normals. This one makes me sad. Not this one. This one I understand. This one I understand. This one is surprising, especially for how much. So they reduce the hitbox of her jumping down heavy, which everyone complained about, so I'm not surprised about that. And then they also reduce the distance of her jumping normal heavy. Again, I'll point to the Yohozi video real fast. Right there. So basically, they cut this part in half, and that's pretty much what it's at now. So it's a decent norm. That's a decent nerf. It's a decently sized nerf when it comes to the button press. Back to the list. Back to the list. Mid-air Foxfire. This is also one where I'm just like, what? Travel distance has been decreased. Hurt box size has been increased. And not bad distance on air has been decreased. And then same thing with the down S1. It's like every single person was like, we want recovery on JS1. Why is she able to cancel JS1 so quick? And instead of getting that, they're like, okay, let's just make the fireball itself worse. Everything else about Ahri's JS1 and J2S1 is the same. Let's make the fireball itself worse. So people can still do the 16 frame projectile, but now it's only gonna go like half the screen. That one's just weird. And then up spirit, I don't think this is going to matter. Damage. I was doing too much damage overall. Was she though? I mean they lowered her damage a decent amount last patch. And you know how Ahri's doing a bunch of damage right now? By doing the multi-orb combos. So why don't we nerf that and make it where after the first orb combo, the scaling is crushed, so she does no damage after that. But nope. Instead, we are going to nerf the damage of Recharge Heavy by another 5. They already nerfed it before, and now they're nerfing it again. Regular Heavy also by 5. Mid-air Down Heavy also by 5. Project her JS1 by 10. Her J down is 1 by 5. Has an extra hit of scaling. S2 has been reduced. S2 is reduced by 10, and all forms of Spirit Rush have also been reduced by 10. If you confirm, I think they just really want people to, I think what we're getting at, I think literally what we're seeing here is they just really want people to start using her S1 as her combo starter. Like they want her to confirm her combos with S1 because they also made forward S2 now have an extra hit of scaling as well. So I think they just really want people to start scaling with, or start doing combos with S1. Her down heavy was too strong of an anti-air and had consistent and inconsistent prosperities against crouching and stand opponents. We reduced hitbox both above and in front Ahri. So yeah, Ahri's 2H was too strong. Sure. I'm pretty sure only non-Ahris have ever said that, and And every Ahri is just completely completely whipped a 2H that should definitely have hit because Ahri moves too far forward, but whatever. So ground up pushback has now been reduced. Same thing with L, same thing with M, basically to make it where you can now do L, L, M down heavy and convert, and it will now convert. Stalking darts. Ugh. The one that rips out my heart here. Even though this kind of deserved. But funnily enough, they did technically do something that they did do something I talked about them doing before when talking about Oki options. They did speed up the darts. The thing is, they sped up the dart while also making it 11 frames slower. So not only did they royally mess up the Oki. Let me just pull up that part. So you guys can watch that.
Is now much worse on block if you can also fit an aid advance or 2 assists. Focus that would just make Ahri's delay down S1 to get the same result.
But they also made it worse in neutral because the projectile is now very fast, or now much faster.
Is that it is no longer possible to cross up the opponent on a knockdown while still doing get up attack. So still be able to use down S1 for setups. Obviously, this is like the high intermediate level of down S1 application. But with our worse frame data and the visual back after less, we find it's best used for a blockchain reset rather than a toss-up. We're not able to effectively get mix off this. There's a lot more we did to Ahri. We reduced her power in more subtle ways or in specific ways designed to help fight frustrations. We think this version of Ahri is a lot healthier and more in line with the balance of the game. But we're going to be monitoring how she performs after nerfs and see if there's more we can do. But in general, we're pretty happy with this version of Ahri.
So Oki is. That's another one I'll be curious about. It still might be there, but just need to figure out. But we just need to figure out what something else in order to make it work. And at the very worst, it's a down S1. You dash forward to then put them in a block string and then let that come in. It's probably what it is. So the old Oki is dead. Odds are we're going to get a new one, or people are going to come up with a new one. But yeah, we'll figure it out. As long as down S1 still exists, then there'll always be something to do for Oki. But it's just gonna be different. Sure, I'm gonna try to Oki pretty much. So Spirit Rush Starve has been increased by 2 frames and now doesn't go as far. And the hurt box is and now she's easier to hit. But the hit stun is now increased by 4. I don't know. I honestly think one or the other would have been fine. Both is just weird. Making it hard to hit is fine because a lot of people were being stuck with trades, which get them full combos. So that's fine. I don't think both were needed, but whatever. This one's just odd because it already has a good amount of hit stun. Right? If we're being perfectly honest, it already has a good amount of hit stun. So it did not need more. And then so Ahri had a 9-frame tag launcher. Right, so she could technically punish moves with it. Nobody was doing this. Nobody was doing this. But they made it 10 frames now. Which... whatever. It honestly isn't going to do anything. It's really not going to do... it's really not going to do anything. As long as we're still able to do down S2 into tag launch, which based on this, we still are. This changes nothing since basically nobody was doing this. And now the part that makes absolutely no sense whatso freaking ever. Who thought... who was like, okay, do you know what's really strong about Ahri? Her grounded throw. Who thought, hey, that's what we all thought, right? Her grounded throw was just so strong. The combos we got from her were just so good. So I don't get this. I really, really, really don't get this. So yeah, basically, if you have an OTG assist, right? So like if you have a Kali last stand assist, or if you have
Also the game. There's a lot of other changes as power and reset.
if you have a Kali last stand assist, or you have Vi assist, right? The OTG assist.
For most characters, you can now, but also partially neutral S1 if you find an S2.
If I can find where it is.
To know when it was your turn against your comp. Speaking of damage, her throw combos are significantly worse.
Yeah.
You'll need to shorten your combos after a forward or back throw. Block strings. It was extremely difficult to know when it was your turn against Ahri. 3 major changes happened this patch for Ahri, targeting difficult to play. Stand S2, when used in its simplest way, is now more -1 block. That's for the beginner player. For advanced players, if you manage to make the final hit with, such as if Ahri does a really long block string into stand S2, and your retreating guard will quick block the last attack.
So Diaphone agrees that Ahri's throw should have a very high scaling. And sure. Super! Yep, so on top of everything else, Ahri also builds less super. Mid-air heavy now gives only 3 instead of 4. Charge heavy has been increased from 5 to 6. Mid-air Deutsch, it went from 4 to 2. Spirit and direction went from 3 to 2. S1 went from 8 to 5, and Stalking Dart went from 8 to 5. Forward Dino Spirit Rush now only hit in front rather than behind. Will no longer trade with ground attacks. All Spirit Rushes in any direction now. 12 frames of block stun on ground block. Before it was inconsistent between variants. For that Spirit Rush hurt blocks has been increased. Yeah, so that's an absolute mouthful, to say the absolute least. Okay, but yeah, so like I said, I hear a lot of people in the Discords saying that she's still strong, and she honestly might be. I honestly don't know, and I'm not going to know, and none of us are really going to know until we actually get to try her out in game. As long as she can still, as long as there's a way to still get decent damage out of her, and as long as we're able to come up with new Oki options, then it's probably fine. It just means her neutral game is going to be a lot worse. And her options to get in are also going to be a lot worse with the reduction of her normals and downness 1 now being much faster, so you can't just run with it like we did before. Also, her block strings are also much worse. Yeah, she's definitely a lot worse. As long as things are figured out, she'll still be good. She was removed from the top 5, but. She'll probably still be good as long as new combos are figured out, and as long as new Oki are figured out. As long as those 2 things get figured out, she'll still probably be a high tier character. But holy shit, dude. Evan Almighty, I was in his stream earlier. He put it in and checked how many characters are in this Ahri nerf section. There's over 9,000 characters. Yeah, there's over 9,000 characters. You feel like Thresh got nerfed enough? It honestly comes down to similar thing what I just referred to with Ahri. Are the combos is his combos nerfed enough? Odds are the answer to that is no, in which case no, it is not. Thresh is probably going to be top 1 in the game, and is more than likely going to be seen basically on every single team. What people are saying about Ahri. Oh, Ahri's on every single team. I think we are legitimately going to see that with Thresh right now. I think quite literally every team is going to include a Thresh now. I think Thresh is probably. I think basically the 4 remaining top 5s, right, are pretty much all going to be the same. I think Thresh is going to be top 1. Teemo is probably going to go like Thresh, Teemo, or Echo, Alawi. Echo receiving literally nothing this patch. Echo receiving literally nothing this patch. Teemo getting buffed this patch. And no, I don't see a world where I don't see Akali being top 4, let alone top 2. Freestyle nerf paired together with the fact that Ahri is pretty much the only character that really helped out Akali most, with her getting nerfed a lot. Akali is going to take quite the drop. So Teemo is easily in that top 4. Akali, I don't see being there. But yeah, so And no, at the moment, sure, I don't think. I'm still planning on playing Ahri Akali for now. Especially if Ahri ends up still being good. I just got too much shit I gotta figure. I still just got too much shit I gotta figure out for Tokon and Avatar before I come back and potentially figure out an entirely new team, which I might have to potentially do. Or at the very least, if Ahri is still good, drop Akali for someone else. And then, because I might have to swap the 2x or double down depending on how harsh these freestyle nerfs are. Because Akali literally cannot be played with any of the fuse. Speaking of which, Akali, so Akali pretty much is, Akali's pretty much the same deal. Akali's basically the same. The only thing that's really any different is now, this is now consistent. So now when you do her when you do her charged S2 cross up, the last kick should always hit. Before it would miss on crouchers, it would miss on crouchers except for like 2 or 3 characters. But now it should always hit. Patch comes out tomorrow. Patch comes out freaking the day of Avatar's release. Yeah. Akali's nerfs have nothing to do with with this section. It's entirely based around freestyle. Yep. Welcome to the next 4 days, pretty much. Avatar comes out tomorrow. Tokon beta day after that. 2SKO patch tomorrow, and yeah. Blitzcrank buffs. When performing a handshake title, Blitzcrank is deployed with an assist. You will be able to cancel the recovery of the assist into attacks. Attacking the Blitzcrank led to a significantly difficult outcome, then waiting until the opponent reaches Blitzcrank. Now, if you attack early, you can press a button at the time you'll normally be actionable and punch them in the face. Main regard pushing down his 2 now grants more steam. I really don't think he needs more steam options, really. He seems to be able to get steam pretty consistently. I think that's the least of his issues right now. Mid-air drill recovery on contact has been reduced by 6 frames, but thermal combo enders are now improved at the use helping hand super. Rock grab power fist knocks opponents less far and over longer duration. Parts now maintain the mid screen. It's easier to combo into static fields to super and these additional combos while cornered. So before you could combo with this, but it was really difficult and it was only like with a jab starter. So now you might be able to get S1 to like medium confirms into full combos in the corner now potentially. Hellband Super now always performs a ground bounce. Pow! So they want the better double down. They're like, again, they're trying to make 2x and double down better, and it's the same thing with Alawi Super that they say later on. Alawi Super, they said, oh yeah, it always ground bounces now because we want Alawi to be better with double down. Projectile, steam power, rocket grab, projectile destruction hitboxes has increased. And some bug fixes. So Blitzcrank is basically just the same. Brom, removing the last low-hanging projectile in the game. So Glacial Breaker, S2, S2 no longer encountered state while in recovery. Charge Battering Ram, now it's additional projectile destruction hitbox. This no longer being a low is whatever, honestly. But then it now has 2 more frames, and now has 2 more frames of block stun. It already had like 1 million block stun, so sure. And Glacial Fissure Super now dissipates faster when parried. Yeah, I honestly thought it was I thought it was just a bug, but yeah, if you parry the super, there is a chance that one extra wave will still hit as you parry, and you'll get hit anyway. So even though you parried it and should be able to punish him, you'll just get hit anyways. No changes for Caitlyn. Darius' assists are getting an improvement, which is weird, because honestly I think one of the best things about Darius is that tackle assist. But that tackle assist now does more damage by 5. Apprehend now does 30 more damage, which is cool, but no one really ever uses it for damage. Down assist is no longer affected by hit stun. There's super assist, but not very super when used late in the combos, will no longer cause opponents to immediately air tech, enabling follow-ups. Lovely. And some bugs. So Darius is basically the same, he just now hurts more. Which is ironic, because that is literally like the main thing he does, is he kind of already just hurts. Echo. Continuing to get away with murder. Echo, the only character in the top 5 to not receive, and actually no, sorry, Team Moza. Actually no, Team Moza got buffs. Sorry, my apologies. Alawi. Alawi is a strong strength-weakness profile, and we like how she plays, but her strengths are too smothering, reducing the power of her strongest tools so she can be more well-rounded. She doesn't make technical behaviors to reduce frustration when fighting Alawi. In return, we're opening up Alawi to Juggernaut and Double Down as core fuses. Buffs. Yeah, so mother! Now ground bounces. Recovery on hit has been reduced by 3 frames. Now he's reduced with Double Down. And the range over level 3 has been improved. Whatever. Nerfs. Nerfs to normals. Ground to light vertical hitbox has been decreased. 2 output pushback on blocks has been slightly increased, so our block strings aren't as good. Ground light is now -1. Block stun is now increased. So my block stun has been increased by 1 frame, and recovery has been increased by 2 frames. Crouching low is now -2. Recovery plus -1. Alawi's light numbers were overtuned on block. We expect our lights to be extremely good pressure tools, but they will be less smothering for the opponent. Ground light and down light, hit stun on ground opponents will be reduced by 1 frame. Both attacks now have less hit stun and make hit confirming more in line with other champions. Down M, recovery has been increased by 2. Could you have made it 3 to make us Ahri players feel better about the fact that you made R2 and 2M last batch worse by 3? Ground M has been reduced by 2. Block stun has been reduced by 2 frames as well. M and ground M are very powerful normals, so now it's general additional recovery. Yeah. Nerf special title swing, down S1, tentacle follow-up active frames have been reduced. Info will no longer catch opponents after the tentacle has visually left the screen. Prayer Intonation, down S1, recovery has been increased by 10. Increased time opponent is trapped in prayer send. Tentacle within frames by 10. It might now be possible to actually punish her. So it might be possible to actually punish these for the first time ever. Throwing all these nerfs. Hit stun has been increased by 8. Allow can now perform tag actions. Can no longer do tag through C's. Opponents would frequently guess correctly and be punished for making counterplay on this move more clear. In return, has been more hit stun, allowing for easier conversions. Yeah, so now if they go for C's and you're right, then you can then you can actually potentially punish them, not get punished in return, which is basically what's been happening right now. Is it goes for the grab, you're right, and then you get punished for attempting to do anything. His voice line now occurs later in prayer. It was easier to react to a sound on to now you can't react to it strictly through listening to what she says. And then the super's been decreased by 15. Tentacles will now despawn if the point champion on her T is hit. Tentacles will now despawn if Alawi is hit at the same time a tentacle would spawn. First hit of grounded S2. Hit stun has been increased by 6. At 39 frames of ground stun, now it's 33. First hit of guiding assist. Ground stun has been decreased by 6. For an easy conversion on trade, both grounded S2 and forward assists have less ground hit stun. Nurse to assist, the speed of force has been increased by 2. Hitbox size has also been decreased. And so nothing really about her. So nothing really. So her Oki is still nuts. Her Oki is still nuts, and for the most part, Alawi is still pretty busted. Jinx gets nothing. Senna is something I'm very curious about because it sounds like they're increasing her general movement speed. What's up, Chris? I saw you here. I saw you say hi earlier. Sorry, Chris. I didn't mean to ignore you. We're making some adjustments to Senna to improve her play in base form. So buffs to movement, improve run speed in base form, improve momentum when canceling into attacks in base form, improve backdash speed slightly. So they're making her slightly faster. We want Senna to feel slow while in base form and fast in Wraith form, but the contrast led to unfun play experience. Did they actually make Wraith form fast? But that's what they say at least. But they're increasing the speed. I'll be curious about. They also improved the backdash speed, so we'll see by how much. If it's improved at least to a fair amount, then maybe I'll consider the idea of potentially picking her up since they improved other stuff too. But one of the main things that was annoying to me was how slow her Wraith form felt on top of the base form. So if they're speeding both up, then potentially. Bust the normal base form, grounded, because hey, Senna Ahri double down or Senna Ahri 2x assist can work. It can work pretty well. So potentially, but yeah, so base form grounded L recovery has been reduced by 1. Ground pushback on blocks has been reduced. Slightly improving our block strength there. Base form ground M, now the additional hitbox below Senna. Base form ground M knockback distance on block has been reduced. Base form grounded M block stun has been increased by 1 frame, and at 15 frames of block stun now it's 16. And base form ground M now moves Senna farther forward. They're basically just trying to improve both her conversions as well as her general block strings. Graham is now stronger normal block stream more consistently from down M when performed at a mid-range. Base form down M now has additional hitbox at Senna's foot. Down heavy, the downwards hitbox has been increased, no more random misses. Raid form heavy, first downwards hit size has been increased. Normals that were whiffing on crouching, Ahri, Echo, and Teemo not connect more reliably, and mid-air M hit push on ground opponents has been reduced. Specials, piercing light recovery has been reduced by 1 frame. Mid-air piercing light, angle down has been increased. The damage dealt has almost doubled. So if you want to actually zone with Senna, you'll actually get rewarded for hitting people with the projectile. Charged now 32 frames of air block stun. Charged knockback distance has been increased. Keep them basically play the zoning game. Ground block stun of all uncharged piercing light has been increased by 5. Basically piercing light into rate shift is now safe on block. So now if you go for it, try to react on hits, you're now at least safe. And this is honestly a really good change because doing piercing light into swap plus calling assist is now a much stronger string. Sorry. So that's really good. So super block stun has been increased by 5. Random, but okay. Dawn Shadow S1 Super now knocks Senna less far back when hitting a corner opponent. It's not easy to combo out of Dawn Shadow when performing a double down. S2 Super pushback on block has been increased. It's now safer on block. Bust through her assist. Her damage has been increased. Alright, and this is the good assist. Their laser assist now does 20 more damage. So honestly, some really good changes. Some really good changes for Senna. Depending on how well the piercing light into race shift change works, along with how much her movement speed changes, she might no longer be the worst character in the game. If they give her any form of decent speed to where she can actually zone or potentially get in, or if they make her wraith form actually fast, as they put it, she could actually be pretty scary. And if she is, Ahri Senna might be in my future. We'll see. Sorry. Maybe that goes Senna for me. That's possible. Teemo. Teemo has been getting a small adjustment to make his combos more consistent and to make combos against Teemo more consistent. Second hit of down M now has 1 additional frame of hit stun on ground opponents. Second hit of down M pushback when hitting ground opponents has been reduced, making his combos more consistent. Bound dash, forward S1, and charges 1. Final hitbox size has been increased above Teemo, making it again more consistent to hit. And Dart assist, for some reason, when the assist is already incredibly strong, they're making it do more damage. And in return, Teemo is now easier to hit. And that's it. Teemo's insanely broken Oki that has basically no options against stays. Yep, they completely are making everyone rework Ahri's Oki potentially, while allowing Teemo Oki the same. Thresh. Thresh is taking 2x by storm, and people love playing him. Yes, and they're gonna love playing him even more after this patch, because with Ahri's nerfs, we went from seeing either Ahri or Thresh on every team to now we're going to just see Thresh on every team. So Thresh can now. Oh yeah. For some reason, one of the only bad things about Thresh, like Thresh has next to nothing bad about him, right? But one of the few bad things about Thresh is he can't cancel heavy. So it was like the option I must now. I'm going to now parry, or I'm going to mash, or I'm going to jump. I'm going to punish him. He can now cancel it into flay or rake. Oh, and he could also tag. White. Literally the only bad thing about Thresh was the fact that if you did HH, you're probably going to die. Thresh pays his taxes. Thresh pays Thresh players taxes. And S1 Super now does more damage. And in return, exorciate the charge down 8 minutes. Basically, this is no longer going to work on very high hit stuns. So his combos should at least be shorter. Mid-air age hitbox size has been reduced. Now it's less low at far ranges and his less high at all ranges. Ahri's still top 3. Is she? So you think Ahri is after all these nerfs is still better than Thresh, Echo, Teemo, and Alawi? Who I think are probably going to be the top 4 after this patch. And mid-air H now pushes aerial opponents further away on block. Mid-air H will now hit 1-2 frames later at far ranges, hit opponents above Thresh less often. And in addition, air blocking mid-H will lead to blocking ground H less often. Dark Flicker S2 charges to minimum damage has been reduced from 50% to 30%. There was a minimum damage even on this move. Damage reduced by 30. What's 115 is now 120. There was ever a minimum damage on this? Swear to God, there was no minimum damage on this. This move now deals 40 less damage. Alright, that's good at least. And then adjustments. Ground Dark Passage, designed during explosion, now hits slightly lower, but now whiffs against crouchers. But now connects against standing Teemo, but whiffs on crouching Braum and Blitzcrank. 75, yeah, the damage is busted. Oh, I know his damage is busted primarily because of this move. I literally just assumed that shit just wasn't scaled at all with how much damage that shit was doing. And putting down back and down forward S2 while Airborne will now perform Dark Passage mid-air at down S2. Spirit Summon Explosion no longer sends ground opponents towards Thresh on block when performed at point blank range. Where's Braum now? Braum probably is depending on Ahri's nerfs and how severe they actually are. Braum's probably 5 now. Like again, I'm removing Ahri from the equation because I don't know where I'm going to put her yet. Need to actually test that shit first. So removing her from the equation, I think Braum might be 5. Jinx not above Braum though. I think in duos Jinx is above Braum. In solos, I think Braum's above Jinx. So take that as you will. Number Teemo 6 or 7. Of course he put Teemo 6 or 7. He thinks Teemo only he says Teemo only has 2 winning matchups. I'm surprised he put Teemo that high. Maybe Darius or Blitz. Need to see Senna changes, but I think Darius is probably Darius is probably worst in the game right now, along with Warwick. I wouldn't put Blitzcrank in there, depending again on how much the Senna buffs actually help. And then a bunch of bug fixes. Vi Relentless Force S1 Super Bionic Arm now breaks armor. Did it not break armor before? Fully charged Vault Breaker now breaks armor. Season Assist Ultimate Collision Pill is now taller. Season Assist no longer ending opponents at unexpected moments. Force now knocks opponents less far back with a longer knockback. Now use her combo and successful hits. Damage is increased by 5, just to increase the damage of her assist. Robust Footwork Light hit stun on ground hits has been increased by 2. Footwork Charge Light hit stun on air opponent has been increased by 3. Charge M has hit stun on launch high ground opponents has been increased by 2. Heavy now is charged by 5. Hits off reduced by 2. Nerfs this one super now properly scales damage by 10% when using double down. A lot of changes. They're doing a lot of changes to double down. I'm guessing they're expecting a lot of people to swap to double down with these freestyle nerfs. Darius again. Depending on the Senna Warwick situation, Darius is probably the worst character in the game now. The assist changes aren't doing anything. The only thing that was keeping Darius down is literally Warwick and Senna. So if these Senna changes help, then Darius might finally be reaching the bottom of the barrel. Warwick gain combo stability improvements. H now pushes opponents less far on block. LMH into charge now connects at more ranges. Basically, making his mid-screen while only standing combos more consistent and able to do it in general. Mid-air M and ground M air hits has been increased by 2. Permanently hitbox has been increased. Knockback has been adjusted. Now knocks opponents further back on lower heights. His stun has been increased by 1. Recovery of his S1 has been reduced by 2 frames, and block stun has been reduced by 2 frames. Wait. Isn't that the overhead? Did they make it -6 again? So they made his overhead -6 again. Sorry, I must just be reading this wrong. Recovery has been reduced by 2 frames and box time has been reduced by 2 frames. Man. That's how box time is, man. Ow. Yeah, you're right. Weird, but you're right. Weird, but okay. Bust to his assists. No longer knockbacks opponent as far back on hit. You no longer need the dashes to convert from hitting Warwick. Okay. Rage of Beasts for assist has been increased by 10, or the damage has been increased by 10. Uppercut middle hit damage has been increased by 15, or decreased by 15. Final hit damage has been increased by 15. Okay. Now, if you only partially hit it, you do less damage. Okay. Nerfs. Warwick now has custom collision pill and forming a primal leap. It disappears when it makes contact with opponent. Yeah, so the worst characters in the game are still Warwick and the worst character in the game, again, assuming Cenobuffs are good, is probably Warwick. And then Darius after that. And Yasuo. Like good champions, Yasuo is getting a combo ability improvement to prevent unexpected drops or consistencies. Grounded M now has 16 frames of block stun. Grounded M is now consistently block string into grounded H. Returning Gale S1 has additional hitbox. While close to the corner, and now is consistent. S1 pushback on ground opponents have been reduced. Intermittent S2 occasionally whiff. Basically all just combo confirms. Last stances, launch arc has been adjusted. Air hit stun has been increased. This shit already, you already had a shit ton of time for this. Now it's guaranteed hit stun late and okay, whatever. Summer it's too difficult to use in combos. Was it? Okay, in combos maybe. No one ever used this shit in combos. Boom Blade, forward S1 knocks opponents less far back on grounded hits. Were people actually we're actually struggling to confirm this? Boom Blades got forward S1 into S2. Follow hitbox is now larger in front. And then some bug fixes. Zambi with the 48 month Ripari's 5 Smackers. Appreciate that, Zambi. And then a bunch of bug fixes. So what do I think of the patch? Well, besides the fact that ignoring the Ahri nerfs, because we all obviously are aware of the fact that I main Ahri, so I very clearly am going to be biased towards Ahri's nerfs. Some of Ahri's nerfs were deserved and made sense. Others make absolutely no sense whatsoever to me. Especially the throw one. That might be the most confusing nerf I have ever seen. Some of her nerfs were completely different than I would have thought they would do to it. The JS1 especially. So that confused me too. Freestyle nerfs were interesting. Again, not at all what I was expecting for it. How much it'll nerf freestyle? I'm honestly not fully sure. The break. This is probably this and this were very much not. I'm stunned by this. So you can't freestyle tag immediately after break. All right. But yeah, the 35% reduction in break, or reduction in meter gain. Sorry, that is break meter gain. And then you having now 20 less frames, 25% less time to do stuff for freestyle. Yes, I did. Yes, I did watch Yohosi's Ahri changes. Easy Tiger. Again, a lot of people I know are saying Ahri is still strong. So we'll see what ends up happening there. Between the Ahri nerfs and the freestyle nerfs, I probably should consider the idea of potentially swapping teams. Am I going to be doing that until after? Am I going to be doing that before CEO? No, my team is still probably going to be Ahri Akali for at least the next couple of weeks, if not the next month, if not the next month to month and a half, as I try and figure out Marvel Tokon and Avatar. But might have to consider a different team, one that runs 2x or double down. Because if you pair all the Ahri nerfs, and then you take all the Ahri nerfs and you pair that together with the freestyle nerfs, and the fact that some of the champions that Akali is weak to are going to still be very prevalent and be potentially more so. I might need to make the swap again. With any luck, or at least what I'm hoping, Senna's buffs to her. I went past it. Sorry. Senna's buffs to all of her movement, as well as her increased damage, and improved block strings, might make me consider the idea of potentially playing Ahri Senna, either double down or 2x. But again, that's something to Senna 2x is really good. Yeah, especially since let's also not forget let's also not forget that her laser shots had the damage increase on top of that. And also Ahri 2x assist can be really good to set up Senna to go for mix-ups or potential resets with the double forward assist. So depending on the Senna buffs, I might consider the idea of potentially playing Ahri Senna 2x assist in the future. But again, that wouldn't be until after CEO though. Got way too much shit to worry about before CEO to try to make an entirely new team before then. CEO is in 2.5 weeks. Strongest use ventures, let's play into that, and weekend ventures is a good policy as far as the break changes. I agree. I agree with Easy Tiger. The freestyle nerfs were definitely needed. Again, not how I thought they were going to do it. But they did definitely make it to where it is strictly the offensive fuse now. If you run the fuse offensively, then you won't be able to use it after a break. You won't be able to use it after a push block in order to try to set anything up or do anything. If your assist gets hit, it's going to be 6 seconds instead of 4 seconds. And you won't be able to use burst as often. And also your offense is now worse. Yeah, just the immunity won't last as long. Freestyle worst fuse now potentially? No. Let's slow it down. Let's not get too crazy there, Grinch. Buffed was way too bad for. Agreed. It's weird that they say that they made Senna's Wraith. They wanted Senna's gun form to be slow and Wraith form to be fast, but both the Wraith form and gun form are both slow. So I agree with the masses. There are definitely things I disagree with. There are definitely things I agree with. As long as Ahri is still good, then it's fine. There's definitely going to be some adjustments, and I'm definitely going to have to lab out some new Okies. And people who are much smarter than me, I will leave the labbing of new combos to them, because S1, and combos will probably become the norm now because of the extra damage scalings of S2s plus the additional meter reduction on top of that. Yeah, so we'll see. Ahri Kali will still be my team for like the next month. Ahri Senna potentially could be the team after that. If not Ahri Senna, Ahri Jinx is still something I'm considering as well, since that's also a team that would work well in 2x or Double Down. Or 2x potentially with Ahri Kaylin is also another thing I'm technically considering. But that one freestyle is better. Ahri Senna is definitely the one I probably would want to play most of the three. But with Ahri's neutral being definitely worse, with the projectile not going as far. With down as one not being as followable as it was now that it's sped up, and her normal's not going as far, and her spirit rush not going as far. She now needs more help than she ever has in order to get in, pretty much. So playing someone like Thresh, playing someone like Jinx, like Senna, like Kaylin are not exactly a requirement to play Ahri. But Ahri's definitely going to need more help than she has had before, though. But yeah, so that's what I'm thinking right now. I think the nerfs to Ahri are definitely are going to hurt. Good chance she's still going to be good. Again, it's just going to be a matter of how good. And like I said, I think I'm just probably going to need a new team now. It's great for a champ compared to if you're on like a lower thresh. Agreed. Because Akali is literally only going to be good in freestyle. And the main thing with Akali Ahri that was so good is the fact that Ahri didn't really need help, right? Like Ahri didn't really need help to play the game. She can kind of just do it herself. Now Ahri's probably going to need some help. And Akali can't supply that help. She's incredibly greedy with how she plays, so she can't really supply that help anymore. She can't really supply that help. And with freestyle being worse on top of that, it's definitely going to make the team a lot worse. Which again is why I think Ahri is going to go from basically being able to be played with anyone to now she's probably going to need to be played with a character that's probably going to need some help. Or that can help her out a bit. So like I said, Thresh, a Jinx, a Kaylin, a Senna. Basically characters that can do something full screen or put something on screen that allows her to go in because she now has to move further before she does anything because of her reduced range on things. When is the Eve or the... Oh, you're gonna like this one, Tim. Alright. Let me pull that up real quick. 2XKO Challenger events. Pull up the competitive series. Pull up the dates. Zoom in. Let's zoom in on something I don't want to zoom in on. Da. Right here. Feel free to check your calendars if you think that if you don't understand why I'm circling this right now. Or I'll do you one better. There you go. Who's going to that? Good question, actually. Probably actually look. We got... Actually, we probably have the bracket here, actually. Hang on. Yeah, we got the bracket here. So we got... Looks like for the most part, just the typical EU boys. Noka, Wawa, Kane, Yasha, Mystic. So basically the usual quartets, pretty much. I'm surprised no Wade. Surprised no Wade, but yeah, the usual suspects went. The usual suspects are going to this, and the patch comes out tomorrow, and they play on Friday, so they have 1 day. They have 1 day to try this out. What am I doing if Ahri's unplayable at top level? Crying. First off at CEO, I'll be crying. Who's the sub? At the moment, no one, because I have to learn Avatar and Tokon before CEO, and figure out who I'm mating in Avatar, and at least someone who I'm playing in Tokon. So I won't have a sub for CEO. CEO will be on if Ahri's the worst character in the game from this patch, then I'm still going to be playing Ahri Akali when CEO rolls around. It's just after CEO, I'll then have to figure out something else. And as for what that something else is, I don't know. Thresh probably. Maybe I'll just end up if Senna's buffs are good. Maybe I just end up playing Thresh Senna to Exorcist. But everyone seems to think that she's still going to be good, so might end up on Ahri Senna post CEO, but League Pros get fired after they can. Okay, Faustros. So hang on. Alright, hang on. There is a massive difference between playing a champion in League and playing a champion in 2XKO. Alright, let's be real here. Let's hold up for a second. If your character gets gutted in League, you just go spend a bit of time learning this new champion, read their movesets, practice the last hitting, and then check out their abilities, go into a game, and then practice it a few times. It is very different than 2XKO, where you have more than one kind of attack, since you have light, medium, standing, light, medium, heavy, crouching, light, medium, heavy, and air, light, medium, and heavy, and some character then down some buttons in the air. Then you have multiple S1s, multiple S2s, and multiple supers compared to just 3 normal moves and one ultimate move in League. And then on top of that, you also need to worry about assist calls, character synergy, combos, Oki, and things like that involve your team, that involve the other character you are playing as well. It is much easier to pick up a new champion in League than it is to pick up a new champion in 2XKO. Alright, so let's slow down on the League Pros get fired if they can't adapt and learn a new League champion. So fighting game players should just be able to just easily do that too. It's not that simple. Will fighting game pros end up doing that anyways? Yeah. Is it as simple? If picking up a 2XKO champion was as easy as picking up a League champion? I would have, if I find out tomorrow that Ahri was dead, I'd have a new team ready by CEO, no problem. No problem. I'd have a new team picked up ready to go for CEO, no problem. But it ain't that easy. I wish it were that easy. It would make my life a whole lot easier if it were that easy, but it's not that easy. That was good, lad. Yeah, plus also League Pros typically have 8, 9, 10 or more champions they play already as is. So if 2 of them get nerfed, they got the other 8 still. Most 2x KO pros have like maybe have one, like at most 2 secondary characters, and then that's a big if. Most people have their 1 team and that's it. Think Ahri is going to be viable in the next patch? I don't know. More than likely, yes, but I can't say yes or no until actually getting my hands on the character. More than likely she'll be fine. She's just going to need help where before she didn't need any help. That's probably all it is. Before she had the Oki herself, so she didn't really need help. Before, she kind of just had the neutral herself, so she didn't really need the help. Now, she's potentially going to need help for the Oki. We need to actually test that, and then she's probably going to need some help in the neutral, since now she doesn't dash as far with Spirit Rush, and her projectiles don't go as far, and her air normals don't go as far. And she's also going to need help with damage as well. I think Ahri's probably going to want double down now, if I'm being honest. She's either going to want double down, or she's going to want 2x specifically for resets. Because Ahri is definitely going to need resets now to be able to kill at all consistently. How bad are the damage nerfs? 20%. If I pull up the Yahozi thing real fast. Where was it?
First specifically, for forward S2 and to a lesser extent, J-Dart S1 now deal an additional hit scaling, so starting with the unique sigma. As an example, my preferred DMP scaling.
So you see the typical. So this is a typical like good Ahri mid screen to corner or corner combo, right?
Compared to last patch, this is 80 less damage.
83 less damage, 498 to 415. So basically, what a lot of people did as their meterless corner combo, off of a heavy starter. Right, this is a 5H starter. It barely passes 400 damage. So a combo that typically because was a lot of Ahri players go to corner combos, now barely crosses 400 damage.
Combos, most importantly and more importantly, for forward S2 and to a lesser extent, J-Dart S1 now deal an additional hit of scaling, so starting with these moves is much worse. As an example, my preferred DMV mid-screen now deals 415 damage.
So now off the most optimal starter you can get. She's doing like 40 to 45% of Echo's life bar for a optimal starter corner combo. So one thing that's going to be different though is that as Yahozi just said, Ahri's forward S2 is what causes the additional hit stun scaling. So the way I think we're going to do. the way we're going to do combos now, if we want to do damage, we have to do S1, S1, S1. Because forward S2 causes the double damage scaling, where her neutral S1 does not. Her forward S2 and her down S1 have the double hit scaling. Her forward S1 does not. So now if we want to do decent damage, we have to do now the S1, S1, S1.
And when they do hit confirm into their high damage combos off like scan to S1, S1, or sweep to S1 super, they'll be doing less overall.
Save more diff. Save much more diff. I know that one include a super, but much more damage compared to before. So I'll be curious to see what people come up with for new Ahri combos. But we're definitely going to need some new Ahri combos, or else Ahri's going to, especially also with the meter nerfs, Ahri's probably going to be 4 touching people now. 3 maybe if you got 3 touch if you have a level 3 available. So she only has high damage in the corners. We'll see. So here's the thing. We'll see, because they made S1 have reduced knockback. So there's and so one of the things that was said was they did this and making it where people did not have to dash in order, like something like did not need to dash in order to pick it up anymore. So there's a chance now that Ahri might be able to do S1 S1 in her mid-screen combo as well as a starter. Again, this is all speculation. I've got no freaking idea, but there's a chance that we might be able to do like light, medium, heavy, S1, 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 dash forward, charge heavy, like our normal combo, our normal corner combo, potentially mid-screen now as well. So now if we want to side switch and put them back in the corner, we need to do S2 forward, S2 up, S2, which is going to lower our damage significantly. Or we can potentially do S1, S1, S1 dash forward, charge heavy, and potentially have less hit stun scale, or have less hit scaling and do more damage. This is speculation. I got no idea that's actually true or not. I'm pretty sure I remember reading at some point in this that they made the S1 have reduced pushback, so that and allowing her more advanced combos to be easier for people because they don't need to do the dash charge heavy anymore. I might be wrong. I might be remembering that wrong. I honestly don't know. But if that's the case, then they're basically just making it where we need to hit confirm with S1 S1 rather than just always going for bun into forward S2 over and over again. Because as we know, if you do S1 S1 and they're blocking it, you're dead. So we'll see. Yeah, so we'll see. Like I said, if that's the case, if it is the case where you can do that and that improves the damage, then I'm sure people will come up with new combos that will at least. It's still, the damage is still going to be reduced, but at least be better. Dash cancel or mid-screen advanced combos. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. Then yeah. But yeah, that. So potentially we'll get. So potentially we'll maybe that means that if we do that we'll be able to do the S1 combos mid-screen. And which can then again let us do more damage and potentially still do like put people in like 3-touch situations. But we'll see. But we'll see what happens. Oh yeah, it does have. I literally had it up on screen. But yeah. So the damage nurse might not be as bad as they seem. So it's just going to. So basically, all it's going to change potentially from this is Ahri's going to need help in neutral in order to be able to go in and do Ahri things. Can't you Spirit Rush after S1 unblocked? No. You cannot do any. You cannot cancel S1. You cannot cancel S1 into anything besides a third S1. And that doesn't really do. And that wouldn't really matter anyways, since people would just jump and press a button and get the guaranteed counter hit anyways. But yeah, so we'll see. We'll see. And in the end, Ahri's probably. In the end, if I had to guess, Ahri's just going to go from a character that can pretty much do everything herself to a character that can still do basically all of the same things. It's just she's going to need some help to do it. She's gonna go from an amazing solo character to another character that just needs some help. Which, like I said, is going to have the extra effect of Ahri Akali is going to be much worse. Because Akali does nothing for Ahri. And as for the rest, I can't believe Team Aoki is still good. Or still exists. Can't believe Alawi Aoki still exists. The rest is still gonna be busted as all hell. I'm looking forward to seeing the Senna changes. I'm hoping they make her good, so that way I can play Ahri Senna potentially as my team. And I'm sure people will still complain about her, but but Thresh I think is good. My bet is that Thresh is going to be numero uno after this. Or at least that's my speculation. That being said, though, let's check out the Marvel guides on Wolverine and Blade real quick. Then we'll probably just call it a stream there, because we're going to have a long day of Avatar tomorrow. And potentially, if I manage to tear myself away from Avatar long enough to check out the, we'll check out the nerfs to Ahri. Let me also mute 2. Let me also mute 2x here so we can actually hear it. So we can actually hear this. Tomorrow's gonna be a long day. I can say that. Tomorrow's gonna be a long day.
Is there a limb you really need to keep? I'll try not to.
Nothing beats the original color for him.
Take it.
Shadows to his unique though. Jesus Christ.
You're cooked, bub.
Oh, there's first color. Nah, nothing beats his originals.
Like that. Weapon X. Berserker Claw. No walking away. My turn.
Berserker Rage. Sends opponent down after in Berserker Rage on hit. If performed while in Berserker Rage, the attack deals additional hits and ends in Berserker Rage.
Berserker Maul.
Berserker Maul. Overhead. That's what we need. That's what we need. A Dragon Ball 6M that gives him his power up. Hello too.
Berserker charge.
Is that unblockable? Nah, it doesn't look like it.
X-Force.
X-Force.
X marks the spot.
Why does Wolverine have a projectile? But then it's like, we gotta make this guy Leo Whitefang if we can. And it's also an anti-projectile. Very attacks can partway through the action, making it a great. Oh, great. So Wolverine has an armored anti-air, huh?
Let's go for a ride. Eviscerate.
Cool. This move is cool. And it has armor too. It would not surprise me if we see a lot of Wolverine at CEO. People just trying to win strictly through him through just armor bullshits. Just pure armor slop.
Backup on standby. Wolverine.
Here I come.
I am clear to proceed, Wolverine. Preparations complete, Wolverine.
Weapon X. Watch it. Weapon X.
Weapon X.
Got below. We're a pack together.
Him not being a left right character feels weird.
Together. Yeah. Out of the way. Got this.
Dive kick.
Adamantium Rave! Cut you into pieces! Ready? Let's do this! For action! Savage Instinct! Look
This
out!
opponent performs a series of attacks move activates Berserker Rage. They don't hit him. It's possible to use one power to move without ending Berserker Rage. Interesting. So if you do it, you basically get one free Berserker Rage move.
Say your prayers!
Of course, heavy auto combo.
For ya! Weapon X, look out! 'Cause you ain't surviving this! Say bye!
Hopefully, yeah, combos.
This! There, Weapon X! Say
The solo wall splats. Yo, what the fuck? I want to see that again. Holy crap. Not bored.
Say your prayers, 'cause you ain't surviving this. Can't say I didn't warn ya. Let's bring it in. Feral friend, come with me. Here I come.
So much side swaps.
Guys, it's on.
Assemble.
On my mark. This is it. Let's go.
Damn.
Only one of us gets to walk away.
I know Wolverine was my main in Marvel 3. I'm probably not playing him now. But they did a cool job with him. Alright, so I was told by people in my Discord that I might be playing Blade. Even though I did not have any intentions of playing Blade.
Get ready. The sharpest sword in the world is coming at you.
This theme is sick.
I've just come off 5 years training as a samurai.
Those might be the stubbiest lights ever. Holy shit.
I've just come off 5 years training as a samurai.
Okay, the mediums are good. Alright. The mediums got range, so okay, it's all good. Mediums got range. Oh god, he's got Helmbreaker. Why does he have Helmbreaker? Jesus, the heavy's got range. Oh, he is Hitman. Jesus Christ. Really is Hitman. Throws silver stakes as projectiles. Expends 1 Heartstopper stock. The stakes automatically aim towards an opponent's position. You can also aim with the direction during the action to throw them more quickly in a specified direction. On hit, it activates the Marked for Death stage, which powers up a single skill use. You can tell because the sword is glowing.
No mercy. If nothing else, the katana qualifies me.
Alright, he's got a parry. Fair enough.
I'm still watching you.
He straight up got a machine gun. Fair. Ooh, you can confirm that with the silver bullet. Nice. Multi-slash, okay. Blow by turn, mark for death. Oh, I'm sure he's going to do something cool with those combos. vampire, please. Oh dear. That better not be a cross-up, because he is literally, otherwise he is literally Yasuo. Oh god. Is he literally Yasuo?
You can prove yourself smart and run away. Gotcha.
I will. He's literally Yasuo. He's Yasuo with a machine gun. And if you, Jesus. Jesus.
And I've learned some lessons I can share.
That projectile, man.
Won't get away with this.
If that's his unique. Okay, it's not his unique. Thank God for that.
Won't get away with this. I'm not your babysitter. I'm the shadows. Power. There you are. First noise. Silence. This is the Muramasa blade. Darkness is my domain. Muramasa, are you ready? Nothing stops the Muramasa blade. Let me show you perfection.
That was cool.
Don't blink.
He's got a good theme.
You're welcome.
Damn.
No mercy. First
Holy crap.
silence.
Am I gonna play Blade? Probably not.
Darkness is my domain.
That was a good job.
They've got all the wreck in the world.
My guess on who my team is going to be is Storm, Loki, Magneto, Green Goblin.
Follow me.
That is my guess right now on who I'm going to be playing. I still need to see Black Panther, and I still need to see Carnage.
Still alive.
Alright, that was cool. Of course, no reflection. But yeah, so that's my current speculation on who I'm going to play. Like I said, I still need to see actual gameplay of Carnage, Loki 2, of course. And then more than likely, I think we're going to get the guide for potentially Black Panther and Green Goblin tomorrow before the beta drops on Friday. So we'll get to see potentially if they might be two I might be playing, but we'll see. Storm's the only one I'm like, yep, I know for a fact I like her. The other three right now I'm basically just speculating, but I think I'm going to. But my current guess is my team is going to be Storm, Green Goblin, Magneto, and Loki. In what order I don't know. Who's the main? Who's the assists? I don't know. Is Deadpool such a Zane character though? He might be. I'm not against the idea of playing Deadpool. He's another character that I might consider playing as well, especially since he apparently has the cell yell. So I'm not against the idea of potentially playing Deadpool. He's another character that could potentially be on the team. He's just not someone who I am guessing I am going to be playing. He's someone I might play. He's in the category of characters below the ones who I think I might play. But I have absolutely no idea, and I won't know until either A, the game comes out, or B, the week after CEO, because I don't know how much time I'm actually going to spend playing Tokon when Tokon actually comes out, because I gotta worry about CEO the week after. So yeah, my current speculations, my team's going to be Storm, Green Goblin, Magneto, and Loki in some order, and then potentially Black Panther, Deadpool, or Carnage might potentially make the team. Or one of those three might potentially make the team as well. We'll see. Those first four are just who I am currently betting. Or who I'm currently thinking it's going to be. Doing 2x Scramble DB as the Avatar. Tokon 2. Don't forget Tokon. 2x Scramble DB as the Avatar and Tokon. That game hurts the player right now. Hurts the play, hurts the watch. But yeah, I've got 4. But yeah, I'm signed up for 4 games, but I've got 4 people who are all going to occasionally check in on me to make sure I am in fact still alive as I try and play all those games. Profile games are so much to manage. Yeah, like I said, I am more than likely going to. Am I one of those 4 people? If you want to be one of those people, Bosnian, I can say I have 5 people checking on me, but I currently have 4 people that are not you checking on me. But yeah, we'll see what happens. This trailer did not sway me to add Blade to the list. Like if I'm making a tier list. Which I am going to do at some point. Are you one of those 5? You're not even going to be at CEO, Grinch. I'm not going to do this now, but I will be making this before the game comes out. Basically, it's like my prediction right now on who I'm going to play. Is like I said, is Loki, Green Goblin, Magneto, and Storm. Then Black Panther, Carnage, and Deadpool basically would round out like the 7 who I'm most considering playing. Blade would be in the category after that.
Shopping for your next car? What about...
Shut up. Blade would be in the category after that on who I might play. Danger. And then Danger would also be in this category. Danger would be higher. Danger would be higher, but I'm also going to turn this music back on. Danger would be higher, but the main thing I'm concerned about is I'm going to be playing 2SKO, Avatar, and Tokon potentially all at the same time, right? So the more similar I can make them to each other, the easier time I'm probably going to have in order. The easier I'll probably be able to. I cannot talk. The easier I'll be able to go back and forth between one game to the next. So Danger having that little hop as her dash messes that up. I mash dash in 2XKO, I dash forward. I mash dash in Avatar, I dash forward. I mash dash with Danger, I like do a little hop into the air. Right? So if I was just playing Tokon, or if I was primarily playing Tokon and very little of anything else, Danger would be here at the very least. But because I'm kind of concerned about the movement effects, Danger's down here. Doom would be here too, for a very similar reason, along with Iron Man and Star-Lord. What about Magic? Magic would be here. I don't care.
Shopping for your next car?
God, I don't care about that. Magic would be down there. She's not really my kind of character. The porters are cool, but big sword swing character, not my cup of tea. Cap would be down here too. Ghost Rider, Spider-Man, Wolverine, and then Slow Grappler, and then big ass characters will be in the bottom. More than likely, this is going to end up being my list when I make this list for real for a YouTube video ahead of the game's launch. But I'll give my reasonings behind each character when those things happen. This is probably what it's going to end up looking like. No, not Penny. In what world do you see me playing the big slow robot item throwing character, Grunge? Like, let's be honest here. These are the. Yeah, so if I had to speculate who's gonna be the most played, I think the most played characters when the game comes out: Magic 100%, Magneto 100%, Blade 100%. Like if I had to guess, these three are probably gonna be like the most played characters. I think Blade's gonna be the most, followed by Magic. I think Magneto as well. Star-Lord would probably be very highly played. I don't think Wolverine is going to be the most played, or Doom. I think they'd be down here. I think Wolverine might be the most played character for CEO. So I think people are going to do complete Wolverine slop at CEO for all the armor. The other characters I think are going to see a lot of play probably on release. Or I think most people are going to play before we find out who's good. Green Goblin seems to be building up a shit ton of hype right now. So it wouldn't surprise me if we see a lot of him. We'll see about Carnage. A lot of people are excited for Carnage. So depending on what his guide looks like and what his moveset looks like, Carnage is probably going to be up
Shopping
here.
for your next car?
God, I don't care about this ad. But at the moment, he's hard to place because I literally don't know anything about him right now. Same thing with Deadpool. Deadpool ends up being good. I think so many people are going to have fun with him, myself included. Penny actually probably is going to be up here too. A lot of people are excited for Penny. Hit the tab. Good point.
With millions of...
Good point. Actually, didn't think about that. Yeah, a lot of people seem to be really excited for Penny, and I think we're going to see probably a decent amount of her in the beta at the least. We'll see what ends up happening on release. She probably needs to be good, but I think we're probably going to see a decent amount of her probably on release as well. Like I said, we need to see more of these guys in order for me to speculate for them. Haven't seen, probably not seeing a ton. I think Storm needs to be broken for us to see a ton of her. I think, because I don't think a ton of people are massive Storm fans. Or really how she plays. Like, I think people like me are definitely going to be big fans and want to play Storm. But I don't think she's going to be the most played unless she's like really, really strong. Spider-Man, if he's good, will be very highly played because people want to play Spider-Man because a lot of people like Spider-Man. Danger is probably going to be like the least played, or like she's probably going to be like in contention for like the least played. Setting up the traps, the weird movement, and of a roster full of Marvel characters that people are very excited for. Most people, myself included, had no freaking clue who Danger was when they announced her. So I think there's a good chance she's going to be like if I had to guess, unless she's like top tier, we're probably going to see very little of her, and the only reason we see her is probably just going to be for her unique assist, for the fact that it has very high blocks then. And the rest of these kind of take your pick. Hulk is probably going to be Hulk's probably not going to see a ton of play just because big body, slow character. If you like the big body characters, you'll probably play him. If you don't like the big body characters, which a lot of people don't, you're probably not going to see a ton of people playing Hulk. Ghost Rider, I think, is going to be used primarily as a bridge character. Not a character that people are going to main, but a character that people are going to put in as an assist. As a character that's basically strictly made to come in, do his flame setups to extend combos, and then tag immediately back out. So I think we're going to see Ghost Rider, but exclusively as an assist character for tagging in to do something and tag immediately back out. Spider-Man, if they fix his issues, if they fix his issues and make him stronger, he's probably going to be top. He's probably going to be seen a ton just because so many people like Spider-Man. Iron Man and Cap, I don't know. Take your guess. Miss Marvel, probably similar boat as these three. It's like people don't really care for her, and people who like grapplers will play her. And people that want to use her for assist is probably going to be the only people that are going to play her. Similar thing with Shuri Black Panther. She's probably only going to get picked up by people who want to use or who want the speedy character. And that's probably about it. And Storm is probably going to be C or D. Similar thing. She's not exactly the archetype that is most picked up from characters. But again, this is all speculation and ignoring the fact that if anyone's top tier, they're just going to move up because people like to play top tiers. But if we're talking strictly on day one, expect to see a lot of Blade, a lot of Magic, a lot of Magneto, and a lot of Star-Lord. That is the absolute thing I can guarantee. Until we know who's top tier, when the game comes out, expect a lot of Blade, a lot of Magic, a lot of Magneto, and a lot of Star-Lord. Same thing with the beta, except add Green Goblin to list. Like I said, I think a lot of people want to try him. So in the beta, I think we're going to see. I think these 5 we're going to see an absolute fuck ton of them during the beta this weekend, especially Blade. I think Blade and Green Goblin are probably going to be the 2 we see most in the beta. Magic and Magneto after that. Maybe Blade, then Magic, then Green Goblin, but these are probably going to be the 5 we see most. Just because everyone's going to keep Star-Lord for from the previous betas, and then these are like the 4 that like everyone's like must play when they were announced. What are my intentions for the beta this weekend? My intentions for the beta are relatively straightforward. Current main focus is to grind Avatar this weekend, but for the Tokon beta, I want to check out Green Goblin first and foremost. I want to check out Black Panther secondary, and I want to check out Magneto tertiary. In that order. I most want to look at Green Goblin because we know nothing about him, and I have a ton of questions. And if those questions are answered and are answered well, then he's like for sure going to be on the team, especially since his assist seem really good. Black Panther will be second because I want to know why the heck so many people think I'm going to main this character. And then Magneto was third because of the characters in the beta tests that are on my list of characters I might want for the team. These four are the only ones. and I already know I like Storm. What made you regain interest on Magneto again? Oh, I always had interest on Magneto. Magneto's since his announcement has always been on my list of characters that might potentially be on my team. The only thing that has moved him up towards the guessing he's going to be on the main roster over Black Panther is because watching a small amount of gameplay of Black Panther, outside of her being fast, I'm not 100% sure why so many people I'm going to main her. So like originally the plan was, or the original for once I decided to move Danger down was Green Goblin, Storm, Black Panther, Loki. But until I figure out exactly why so many people want or think that I'm going to main Black Panther, then decide for myself, Black Panther is currently off my current guesstimate team for the release for Magneto instead, because I know Magneto is more my style than for sure. Where Black Panther is a maybe. Hence why Magneto is number 3 on the characters I want to look at during the beta this weekend, behind Black Panther, because I am more sure about liking Magneto than I am Black Panther currently. Yeah, Danger moved down strictly because the idea of trying to go from mashing dash in Avatar to mashing dash in 2XKO to mashing dash with Danger in this game, and Danger going wee is a little concerning. So Danger moved down for that reason. The only reason I see Danger.
What am I fighting for?
The only way I see Danger currently joining the main team is going to be as the 4th and final slot in the unique section, because that drill assist is godlike. That drill assist is so good.
Sometimes it may be good, sometimes it may be shit.
But at the moment, though, pure speculation until I see the guide. But I think Loki's probably going to go in that unique slot because if Loki's unique attack is that triple attack that we saw in the Magneto guide, then I think he'll do just fine in that unique slot. People try and tell me, are we fine after Nurse the crazy rights? We'll see. I can neither confirm nor deny how good Ahri's going to be after the nerfs. I need to actually see for myself, because it's such a laundry list of things. That's hard to exactly tell. She's definitely worse, and I don't see a world where she's even in contention for top 1 anymore. Like, I don't see a, like, I'd be surprised if she's in contention for top 5. But it's definitely possible that she's still a high tier pick, though. Like around a top 8, top 9 kind of character. Basically, there's a chance she's basically Yasuo now. There's a chance she's basically around the Yasuo level right now. The way most people have Yasuo, not the way Yasuo players have Yasuo. I'm playing with my one. No way, it does exactly. Yeah, me too. Loki is the like I said. If this is my current guess on what my team is going to be, where's Thorn? Loki is the biggest question mark of the bunch. Because don't fully know what he does. It's like he's supposed to, like, he has a projectile, but he also has a feint for the projectile. He's got a lariat, but the lariat can also be a feint. He seems to have a teleport. Yeah, I saw him turn them to ice, and also saw him surround them with like 8 different fire projectiles. So I honestly have no idea what the heck is going on with him. So he's a massive question mark. But they described him as quite literally being a trickster character, doing some risky things, but constantly keeping your opponent guessing at all times of what he might do. And that has me very, very curious. There's a chance that I end up not liking Loki at all, and we're playing Deadpool, or we're playing Carnage, or we're playing Black Panther. I don't know. But that's why these are the current 7 that are potentially or that are my current list for potential team members across the 4. But we'll find out more when the game actually comes out, or at the very least the beta for 3 of them. But yeah, so tomorrow is going to be a very, very long day, probably, between the 2 SKO patch and the avatar beta, but the avatar release and the 2 SKO patch. So I'm probably just going to call it a little early today, put up the funny end screen, and then say thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. Get ready for the start of hell, because the start of hell literally is tomorrow. Oh yeah, and on top of that, while we're playing Avatar, we might be getting new tokon news, including DLC for tokon. I'm guessing we're getting the DLC carrot, season 1 DLC for that being at noon tomorrow. Yeah, so I'll probably end up starting Avatar a bit early tomorrow. Just because I want to get more time on the game. So we'll probably end up starting the stream early tomorrow, and then whenever we get the tokon news, we can start talking about. Once we get the tokon news, then we can check that out. But yeah, tomorrow is going to be probably all Avatar. We probably will take a break at some point in the middle of Avatar to try out the 2 SKO patch, so we can at least see what the heck is going on. Well, you could stream once Avatar is on Who Needs Sleep. Yeah, because Avatar starts at midnight. But yeah, so that's the plan for tomorrow. At absolute minimum, a lot of Avatar, and at most some Avatar, checking out the 2 SKO patch, and seeing what I'm guessing is going to be a Season 1 DLC for Marvel Tokon. But before I go, quick shoutouts as always, though, to Zambi with the 48 months. I appreciate it. But yeah, like I said, going to be a long, long day tomorrow. So until then, hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Never talk to you guys because time zones, as always, a very weird thing. Until next time, I'll talk to you guys later.